Captain, before we step onto this price and value island, tell me, what does cheap make you feel when it means low in price, poor in quality or value, and lacking dignity or depth in a way that feels too easy or too shallow? Meaning 1, low in price, not expensive. Used when something costs little money. Example: they found a cheap room near the harbor for the night. Common use: cheap ticket, cheap hotel, cheap price.
Cheap room tonight.
Meaning 2, poor in quality, value, or lasting strength. Used when something is low-priced and also feels weak, badly made, or not worth much. Example: the cheap rope broke after only one hard pull. Common use: cheap material, cheap product, looks cheap.
Cheap rope.
Meaning 3, lacking dignity, depth, or true value in a figurative sense. Used when words, actions, or effects feel shallow, easy, or unworthy, rather than sincere or meaningful. Example: the joke felt cheap during such a serious meeting. Common use: cheap laugh, cheap trick, cheap effect.
Cheap joke.
Cheap often begins with price, but it does not always stay there. It can simply mean low cost, but it can also suggest poor quality or weak value. In figurative use, it may criticize something as shallow, easy, or lacking dignity. Look beyond the price tag, Captain. Carry cheap for what costs little, for what fails because it lacks real quality, and for the shallow effect that may be easy to make, but never truly worth much, as we sail to the next island. Captain, before we step onto this rhythm and routine island, tell me, what does daily make you feel when it means happening every day, used or needed each day, and something published or done once each day as part of regular life? Meaning 1, happening every day. Used for actions, habits, or events that repeat each day. Example: the crew followed a daily routine of training, work, and rest. Common use: daily routine, daily exercise, daily task.
Daily routine.
Meaning 2, used, needed, or suitable for each day. Used for things that belong to ordinary, everyday life rather than special occasions. Example: she packed only daily clothes for the short harbor trip. Common use, daily clothes, daily life.
Daily use item.
Meaning 3, something published or done once each day on a regular schedule. used for newspapers, reports, records, or updates that appear every day. Example: the harbor office posted a daily weather note beside the main door. Common use: daily newspaper, daily report, daily update.
Daily update.
Daily can be an adjective, an adverb, and sometimes a noun in certain contexts. It usually points to everyday repetition, ordinary everyday use, or things that appear once per day on a regular schedule. Trust the power of steady repetition, Captain. Carry daily for the habits that return each day, for the simple things made for ordinary life, and for the regular updates that keep the journey informed and aligned as we sail to the next island. Captain, before we step onto this proof and certainty island, tell me, what does confirm make you feel when it means to show that something is true, to say officially that something is accepted or arranged, and to strengthen a belief by giving clear evidence? Meaning 1, to show that something is true or correct. Used when facts, signs, or evidence prove that something is real or accurate. Example: the fresh footprints confirmed that someone had crossed the beach at dawn. Common use: confirm a fact, confirm the result, confirm the truth.
Confirm the tracks.
Meaning 2, to say officially that something is accepted, agreed, or arranged. Used when a booking, plan, meeting, or decision is formally approved or made final. Example: the harbor office confirmed the rescue boat booking before noon. Common use: confirm a booking, confirm a meeting, confirm the plan.
Booking confirmed.
Meaning 3, to strengthen a belief or feeling by giving clear evidence. Used when something makes a person feel even more sure about what they already thought. Example: the dark clouds confirmed her fear that the storm would return. Common use: confirm a suspicion, confirm a fear, confirm a belief.
Fear confirmed.
Confirm is a very useful word for certainty. It can mean proving something true, officially approving something, or making an existing belief stronger through evidence. Trust the signs that turn doubt into certainty, Captain. Carry confirm for the evidence that proves what is true, for the official word that makes a plan final, and for the clear signal that strengthens what the heart or mind already suspected as we sail to the next island. Captain, before we step onto this many-layered island, tell me, what does complicated make you feel when it means difficult because it has many parts, hard to explain or understand clearly, and emotionally or practically tangled in a way that is not simple anymore? Meaning 1, difficult because it has many parts or steps. Used when something is hard to deal with because many things are connected inside it. Example: the repair became complicated when 3 different systems failed at once. Common use: complicated system, complicated task, too complicated.
Complicated system.
Meaning 2, hard to explain, understand, or solve clearly. Used for ideas, problems, or situations that are not easy to describe in a simple way. Example: the map looked simple at first, but the currents made the route complicated. Common use: complicated idea, complicated problem, complicated answer.
Complicated route.
Meaning 3, emotionally or practically tangled, not simple anymore. Used for relationships, choices, or life situations that have become messy, mixed, or difficult to handle. Example: after the storm, the crew's situation became more complicated than anyone expected. Common use: complicated relationship, complicated situation. Life is complicated.
Complicated situation.
Complicated usually means something is not simple because many parts, conditions, or feelings are involved. It can describe machines, ideas, plans, or human situations. The word often suggests that a quick, easy answer is not enough. Stay patient when the path has too many layers, Captain. Carry complicated for the task with many connected parts, for the idea that resists a simple explanation, and for the tangled situation where life no longer moves in a straight, clear line as we sail to the next island. Captain, before we step onto this memory and silence island, tell me, what does cemetery make you feel when it means a place where dead people are buried? A quiet area filled with graves and remembrance, and in a broader figurative sense, a place where lost things, broken dreams, or forgotten histories seem to rest. Meaning 1, a place where dead people are buried. Used for the land where graves are placed for people after death. Example: they walked slowly through the old cemetery at sunset. Common use: town cemetery, cemetery gate, visit the cemetery.
Old cemetery.
Meaning 2, a quiet place of graves, memory, and remembrance. Used not only for burial land itself, but also for the feeling of silence, loss, and respect connected with it. Example: the cemetery held the memory of generations from the harbor town. Common use: cemetery silence, cemetery stones, cemetery memory.
Memory in the cemetery.
Meaning 3. In a figurative sense, a place where lost things or forgotten histories seem to rest. Used poetically, for a place filled with broken objects, failed hopes, or things left behind. Example: the abandoned harbor yard looked like a cemetery of old boats. Common use: cemetery of dreams, cemetery of ships, cemetery of memories.
Cemetery of old boats.
Cemetery most commonly means the place where people are buried. It also carries a strong emotional meaning of silence, memory, and respect. In poetic or descriptive language, it can be used for places where old things, failed hopes, or forgotten lives seem to have come to rest. Walk gently where memory grows quiet, Captain. Carry cemetery for the resting place of the dead, for the silence that holds remembrance across generations, and for the wider image of lost things gathered in one final stillness as we sail to the next island.